Howdy. This week we've been looking at the idea of why it is that we want to know God. And for my contribution, I'd like to read a portion from Exodus. I'd like to go ahead and read a part from chapter 3, starting at verse 13. Then Moses said to God, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." And he said, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus I am to be remembered throughout all generations." Oftentimes, we get a little bit confused in our English translation because the term Yahweh has different possibilities on the exact meaning. But a general consensus comes around to the idea of "I am," but even more distinctly, it could be seen as "I will be what I will be." Now, the reason for this is because in trying to find out the name of a particular deity, it was oftentimes seen as a way of invoking that particular deity, to call upon that deity, in a sense, to tell the deity that it was time for them to come in and to take care of whatever task was needed at the time. The thing is that with this particular instance, Moses is seeing that God wants him to go out and to speak to the people and to do his will. But the thing is that he didn't really trust himself, so he felt that if he knew the name of God, then he could therefore then call God's name forth and be able to demonstrate whatever power, whatever was needed. But the thing is that the relationship that's there is more along the lines of God is saying he's going to be there, not that God is going to be at Moses' beck and call. So God is saying, "I am going to be whatever I am going to be. That's just who I am. You don't get to determine who I am." And so with this then, this is the thing about knowing God. Why do we want to know God? Because the more that we know God, the more that we understand his character, his nature, what he's about, then the more that we see what it is that he wants to be doing in our world, in our lives, all around us. The thing is that we don't need to try to figure out our purposes and then say, "Okay, God, now I want you to come in and take care of it." Instead, what we're saying is, "God, you have purposes. How do I fit within that? How am I able to be used as a vessel for you?" And the more that we learn about God, the more that we understand that God is this just and merciful being that loves us and wants to see what is good for our world and for us. So as we serve God, though, it also ends up changing us, shaping our lives. We become the people we're meant to be the more that we see the God who made us and who it is that he has redeemed us to be. So as we are struggling with our world currently going through such upheaval, we need to be asking a question: who is God in his very nature? Because the more that we see God, the more that we understand how he wants to change us and change our lives so that we can become the change that we want to see in the world around us.